Welcome back to the Weeb Lounge. School Days is a little infamous. Okay, this was originally a hentai visual novel, right? Like a choose your own adventure kind of thing or whatever. And I guess the visual novel was actually pretty good. The anime, unfortunately, I kind of grew to hate as time went on. Now, if you're going to watch this anime, the main reason to watch it is for the shock ending. All right. And I'm going to give it away. So, huge spoiler huge spoiler here. Huge spoiler here. So, if you don't want to ruin the ending, don't watch. But at the same time, is it really worth it? And in my opinion, probably not. But if you're going to watch it, it's for that. But, anyways, the story is basically Makoto. Makoto is a high school guy, and he has a big crush on a girl. Kotonoha. Big crush on Kotonoha, okay? Who is basically a pretty long-haired girl, okay? Smart girl. And he has a best friend, Sekai. Sekai is more of the athletic tomboy type girl. Of course, my favorite character of all of them. If I can really say I have a favorite in this. Because it's only about a 12 episode series, right? 11 or 12 episodes. And everything from episode 1 all the way to just before the last episode is really dry. It's really dry. I mean, it's Makoto trying to get advice from Sakai to date Kotonoha and make her fall in love with him, which eventually she does, but Sakai then is in love with Makoto and gets to him first, I guess. They have sex, and then Makoto and Kotonoha have sex, and then Makoto... Basically, what ends up happening is Makoto ends up just screwing any girl that he has the opportunity to screw. He turns from the first episode being like seemingly this likable guy who has a crush on a girl and wants to pursue this relationship to being just a fuckboy. Yeah, just doing anyone at any time just because he can, and he ends up being just a complete horrible person. He's really just a horrible human being. And for whatever reason, of course, Sakai and Kotonoha both still love him to death, which we'll get to the ending. Yeah. So he kind of has feelings for Sakai, but not really, because his crush is Kotonoha. And when you compare the characters or whatever, Sakai is definitely the more helpful, more loving character, and Kotonoha is a broken mess, basically. But I guess that's real life for you. I don't know. That's kind of why I don't like this show, because the main character turns into just a complete jackass. Sakai is the only one you really kind of sympathize with, and Kotonoha just kind of... She sluts herself out just a little bit. I mean, she's mentally broke, but she kind of sluts herself out. Like, yeah, great reasoning. It'll work out for you, right? No, it does not work out. It does not work out. So, the first episodes of this, all but the last episode of this series, is just basically Makoto messing with these girls, playing with their heads, and there's really not much of anything to develop. He's basically being an ass and playing on their emotions to a really, really bad degree, right? That's just how it goes. That's just what he's doing. That's what the whole anime is pretty much, except for the last episode. So, I guess I'll get to the last episode. Here's your final warning. Now, the last episode didn't air when it was originally supposed to. All right? Because apparently there was a murder in Japan where a 16-year-old girl axe murdered her dad or something like that, right? And the anime has I don't even want to say it. It was over precautious. The anime last episode kinda has a scene like that. And they wanted to be PC and not make anybody mad, so they delayed the episode, which, a lot of people were pissed over, I guess. And instead they replaced it with like this infomercial with some goofy music on it that was just like a boat kind of sailing around. And this is where the only infamy for school days is kind of born, and that is over on 4chan, I guess. Somebody who just kind of made the comment, nice boat. Okay, it's not really anything until you get to the actual anime last episode. Okay, where nice boat has a bit of meaning to it. Okay, now let me see if I get this straight. I don't have it written down. I don't have a script, but I'm pretty sure I remember it. Anyways, in the last episode, Sakai basically finds out that she's pregnant. She's pregnant. Oh shit, Makoto's in trouble now, right? And so Sakai calls Makoto over to her place, I guess, and confronts him with this. All right? Sakai's like, she's pregnant? Makoto, it's yours? What are we going to do? Well, Makoto just doesn't want to take responsibility. He's just a complete and utter dick. He's a complete ass about it. All right? And of course, Sakai at this point, finding out she's pregnant and all this trauma and all this relationship stuff going on, she's kind of traumatized as it is, and now she's pregnant and realizes that he's not going to take responsibility. It's going to be a nonstop fight. She's going to have a kid when she's like 16 or whatever it is. So she breaks. She snaps. When Makoto's back is turned, Sakai goes into the kitchen, grabs a big old knife, comes back, stabs Makoto to death. Stabs him to death. He dead. Ain't taking responsibility? Well, fuck you then, I guess. Oh, man. Guys, if you need a lesson in don't mess with people's heads, okay, watch this anime. It might traumatize you enough to be like, okay, fuckboy bad. So Sakai murders the hell out of Makoto. And she ends up leaving or whatever, and like Kotonoha shows up and kind of sees the dead body. She wants to confront Sakai because she thinks that Sakai is lying about the pregnancy to try to get Makoto back away from her or whatever. Okay? Big mind game. And Kotonoha, dead body. Oh. Well, that's wonderful. Oh. So, shortly after, Kotonoha kind of confronts Sakai, gives her a call and says, hey, meet on top of the school building or something like that, right? And Kotonoha shows up, she's got a duffel bag and confronts her and everything. It's like, I think you're, lying about the pregnancy, blah, blah, blah. And, one thing leads to another and tells Sakai basically to look in the bag. What's in the bag? What's in the box? Right? Yeah, what's in the box? You know what it is. Makoto's head is in the duffel bag. Okay? So Kotonoha saw him dead, was like, oh, this is a good time to lop off his head, stick it in the duffel bag because I can then keep my man. I don't know what the hell you're going to do with it. Get head? Oh. Yeah. Sakai sees it, and shortly after she sees it, she flips out, and then Kotonoha is like, I think you're lying about your pregnancy. Let's find out. Stabs her in the gut. Fillets her. Now Sakai's dead. And Kotonoha, she legit wanted to know if she was pregnant or not. So she cuts her guts open, starts fishing through and everything, and it was like, oh, I guess you really were pregnant. My God. Oh my God, that's bad. Okay, see, don't mess with people's heads. It just learn. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But this is kind of where the nice boat thing comes back to haunt this series and how it kind of became a meme for a while, right? It was a big meme in Japan, not so much around the rest of the world, but it was a big meme for a while in Japan. And that is because if you remember the video that replaced the episode for a week, it was basically just a boat sailing around to some music. Well, the last scene in School Days was Kotonoha on a boat with the duffel bag and Makoto's head in it. And she takes it out. She's sitting there. She's caressing the head like, oh, we'll be together forever now. She's lost it. She is completely gone at this point. And the final scene is basically the boat sailing away. Nice boat. Nice boat. Well, if anything with the series or whatever, I hope that kind of sort of explained the whole nice boat thing. Because, yeah, there's been some video edits and everything where they kind of put that boat in. And for a long time, people thought that, like, the boat sailed away, and then when it sailed away, it cut immediately to commercial to this boat. That's not actually what happens. That's like an edit or something like that. But, yeah, overall, is this series worth watching? No, it's not. Especially if you just listen to the shock ending I told you. If you just listen to this or whatever, you know, what the heck's the point of watching it, right? But the overall plot and the characters, like, you can't really get into them. The shock ending was at least a finale that kind of sort of justified your time, but was it worth the time you put into it? I think most people are going to say no. Nice boat or not, it wasn't worth the time. So overall, I have to give it a thumbs down. But now if you're going to play the visual novel, the hentai visual novel, no comment. We will see you in the next video.